Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So we are at the very last chapter of Stephenie Meyer's New Moon. So exciting. And we decided that for the last chapter, we're going to do a little switcheroo. So Charlotte is going to be the book, and I'm going to be the funny motions and comments.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, hopefully this works out. We thought it would be a fun little treat for you guys after dealing through this entire book with us. So let's do it. It's chapter 24. It's called Vote.
He was not pleased. That much was easy to read in his face. So he picks her up and springs lively from my window like a cat. And he picks her up on his back and he runs. Even after all this time, it felt routine. Easy. Evidently, this was something you never forgot, like riding a bicycle.
Riding vampire, riding a bicycle. Same thing.
I remembered that running through the forest like this used to frighten me, that I used to have to close my eyes. It seemed a silly reaction to me now. I kept my eyes wide, my chin resting on his shoulder, my cheek against his neck. The speed was exhilarating. 100 times better than the motorcycle. Does this mean you've decided that you're awake? Probably.
I hope so. Otherwise, it's like the most Banff dream ever.
Not really. More that either way, I'm not trying to wake up. Not tonight. Blah, blah, blah. They have a cheesy moment. I love you so much. The worst the Volturi can do is kill me. You can leave me, I explained. The Volturi, Victoria, they're nothing compared to that. 2 pages of, I'm not going to leave you, I love you, blah, blah, blah. She tells him about the hallucinations. Do you remember what Alice said about extreme sports? He spoke the words without inflection or emphasis. He jumped off a cliff for fun. Right, before that, with the motorcycle. Motorcycle? He asked. I guess I didn't tell Alice about that part. No. Well, about that. See, I found that when I was doing something dangerous or stupid, I could remember you more clearly, I confessed.
Why are you speaking in a British accent?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I could remember how your voice sounded when you were angry. I could hear it, like you were standing right there next to me. Mostly I tried not to think about you, but this didn't hurt so much. It was like you were protecting me again, like you didn't want me to hurt. You hurt me because you never stopped loving me. You were risking your life to hear... Shh! Hold on a second. I think I'm having an epiphany here. I thought of that night in Port Angeles when I'd had my first delusion. I'd come up with 2 options. Insanity or wish fulfillment. There was no third option. But what if you sincerely believed something was true, but you were dead wrong? What if you were so stubbornly sure that you were right, but you couldn't even consider the truth? Would the truth be silenced, or would it try to break through? Okay, I see. Your epiphany? You love me, I marveled.
That's her epiphany?
Yeah.
That's her great 527 pages later epiphany.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And they get to the house, and they go in, and I'd never seen the Cullens use the dining room table before. It was just a prop. They didn't eat in the house.
I'm gonna be wicked messy if you did.
They sat down at the dining room table. She tells them about what happened in Volterra, and...
Aren't they putting her mortality to a vote?
Yeah. She says, I have a problem, I began. Alice promised the Volturi that I would become one of you. They're going to send someone to check. And I'm sure that's a bad thing.
I'm pretty sure it's a bad thing, too.
Yeah. And now this involves you all. I've brought you all into this. But if you don't want me, then I'm not going to force myself on you, whether Alice is willing or not. You all know what I want, and I'm sure you know what Edward thinks too. I think the only fair way to decide is for everyone to have a vote. If you don't want me, then I guess I'll go back to Italy alone. I can't have them coming here.
Wait, what? So, if they vote no...
She's going to Italy.
She's gonna go to Italy so that they can kill her.
So they don't come here to kill her.
What the what?
Instead of putting this to a vote, they're gonna hide her instead. Quite obviously, Alice would be able to tell when they're planning a visit, and I'll hide you. They'll be helpless. They'll be like looking for a piece of straw in a haystack.
Isn't it needle in a haystack?
I don't know.
That's the expression.
Bella's not that sharp.
Not like a needle.
Bella asks, do you want me to join your family? Edward says, no. Alice and Jasper say yes. Rosalie says no. Emmett says hell yes. Esme says yes, of course. Carlisle says yes. Edward gets very angry. No, Edward growled. His jaw was strained tight, his lips curled back from his teeth. He stalked out of the room, gnarling under his breath. I guess you know my vote, Carlisle said.
So everyone says yes except Rosalie and Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Edward comes back in and he's like, no, no, no! Are you insane? He shouted. Have you utterly lost your mind?
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah.
Edward talks about how he wouldn't be able to control himself from drinking all her blood.
If he were to change her.
If he were to change her. Carlisle volunteers. I'll be able to do it.
He'd be fine.
He'd be in no danger of me losing control. Sounds good. Bella says.
Bella's like, I don't care. Just somebody do it.
Let me just let my next side here. Just bite me. They decide that Edward will change Bella into a vampire after graduation.
Which is next year. Soonish.
Soon-ish.
I think it's like...
Sure. I don't know what year they are now. When's the last time Bella was at school? Edward brings Bella home. Bella talks about how she doesn't want to be too old when he changes her.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's only 17 and she'll be 18 soon, I guess. Edward says that he wants to get married to her. And he says, well, I'm nearly 110. It's time I settled down. That's Edward's condition. Edward turns Bella into a vampire.
After they're married.
After they're married. He wants to marry her first.
Okay.
Charlie comes in to check on her. Charlie asked where she went. Would you like to explain where you've been? Oh crap. There was an emergency. I don't know what to tell you, Dad. It was mostly a misunderstanding. He said, she said, it got out of hand.
Nice.
See, Alice told Rosalie about me jumping off a cliff. I was scrambling frantically to make this work, to keep it as close to the truth as possible so that my inability to lie convincingly would not undermine the excuse. But before I could go on, Charlie's expression reminded me that he didn't know anything about the cliff. Major oops. Were you trying to kill yourself, Bella? No, of course not. I was just having fun with Jake. She tells him that Edward's back and he doesn't like it.
No. He does not.
Be nice to Edward. He's going to be where I am. Not under my roof. And Charlie leaves and Edward's there right when he leaves.
Yep.
Because they can't live apart ever. And it ends with a kiss. The end. If you stay, I don't need heaven. He got up slowly, came to put his hands on either side of my face as he stared into my eyes. Forever, he vowed, still a little staggered. That's all I'm asking for, I said, and stretched up on my toes so I could press my lips to his.
Aww. Well, we want to thank you guys so much for putting up with us and watching all of these videos. We know it probably wasn't easy, but I assure you it was a lot harder for us. The next book in this series is Eclipse, which we are not doing. This project was 3 years in the making, and I think it's time that we're done with it. So
you can look at these sexy werewolves. Yeah, you're welcome.
Alright, so once again, we really thank you, and...
Done.
And done. Bam, we can go burn this book now.
Woo!
See ya. Bye.